how y'all doing? My name is Brittany and let's talk about books. So today I'm going to be doing my top 15 books of 2015. Okay, so this was so hard to do, guys. I read so many good books this year that I didn't even know what to do with myself. Like, there were so many books I just love that weren't on this list, and it just makes me so sad that they didn't make the list, but whatever. So I did put this in an order. I put it in least favorite to my absolute favorite of the year. I was really struggling to put these books into an order, and I'm not completely happy with the order of some of them, but I did my best. So I did one book per author as best as I could. There's two situations where there's two books per author, and I just paired them together because why not?
Counted it as one because I can do that. I make the rules here on my channel, and I did it, so do it.
So yeah, most of these books were 5 out of 5 stars. Some were 4.5 out of 5 stars. I will be mentioning my star ratings as we go along. So I put them in an order mainly based off how I feel about them. There are some 4.5 books that come before a 5-star book a couple of times, and it's just of how I feel about them as I'm thinking about them right now. Let's get started. Okay, so coming in at number 15, I have A Walk to Remember by Nicholas Sparks. So I absolutely adored this book. It was super cute. As you can see, I tabbed a lot of things. It was just really, really good, and I just had to add a Nicholas Sparks book onto this list, and this is the one that made it. So yeah, I gave this book a 5 out of 5 stars on Goodreads, and it was just so good. Coming in at number 14 is The Duff by Cody Keplinger. I read this at the very beginning of the year, like in February or something, and I loved the book, but I absolutely adored this book, and I know not everybody loves this book. I know a lot of people really don't like it, and I think it's just one of those books where you either love it or you hate it, and I just happened to love it. I found it so funny, and I found it really cute, and I really liked it. I gave this book a 4.5 out of 5 stars. Coming in at number 13 is Auggie and Me by R.J. Palacio. I gave this book a 5 out of 5 stars. It was just really good. I loved seeing the different point of views. Coming in at number 12 is The Archived by Victoria Schwab. But it was just really good. I loved the concept of it. I loved the characters of it, and the plot was just really good. And it just left me wanting more. But it was just fantastic. I loved the concept of it, and it was just brilliant. Coming in at number 11 was Legend by Marie Lu. I read the whole Legend series this year. I'll leave a link to my series review down below. It's not very good, but it'll be there for you to watch. Yeah, like I said, I read the whole series this year, but Legend was my favorite out of the 3 books. So, yeah. Coming in at number 10 is Landline by Rainbow Rowell. I gave this book a 5 out of 5 stars. I read 2 new Rainbow Rowell books this year, and this was my favorite. Oh my god, it was so hard to choose between this and Attachments because I just loved both so much, but I finally ended up on this one because this is the one that I've been thinking more about, and that's how I picked it. And it was just really good. I loved the characters. The concept was so interesting, and I just loved the relationships in this book, and I love the main character, Georgie. She's just an amazing character, and I love Rainbow Rowell's writing, and it's so good. So it's definitely deserved a spot on my favorites list for this year. Coming in at number 9 is Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard. So I bought this book at the beginning of the year, and I wasn't sure if I was going to love it because there were such mixed reviews on it, and I actually just picked this up not that long ago, and I absolutely adored it. I gave it 4.5 out of 5 stars, and I only docked 0.5 off because I could see the plot twist coming. Besides that, it was really enjoyable, and I'm really glad that I finally read it, and yeah, it's definitely a favorite of this year. Coming at number 8 is Revenge, Ice Cream, and Other Things Best Served Cold by Katie Finn. I gave this book a 5 out of 5 stars. This is the sequel to Broken Hearts, Fences, and Other Things to Mend by Katie Finn, and I loved it so much more than Broken Hearts. I read both of them this year. I adored both of them, but I loved Revenge, Ice Cream, and Other Things Best Served Cold way better. And I don't know, it was just so jam-packed full of excitement, and it was just so good. I love the characters, I love the humor, I love the story, I love everything about that book. I have no complaints about it whatsoever. Coming in at number 7 is The Storied Life of A.J. Thickery by Gabrielle Zevin. I also gave this book a 5 out of 5 stars. I tabbed it a lot because I just loved it that much. I don't even know what it is about this book that I love so much. It's just about a book lover, and that just made me so happy. And there's so much book talk in this book that made me happy, and I could relate to it so much, even though it is an adult novel and it's about an adult. I just could relate to it so much. I loved the main character. I love all of the characters, and I just loved what happened. It was such a simple book, and I just absolutely adored it. So, really glad that I got this. I basically bought this book on a whim, and I'm just so happy that I did because it was fantastic. Coming in at number 6 is one of those ones where I doubled up on an author. And that was Dyer. I doubled up Unravel Me and Ignite Me, and the only reason why I doubled this one up was because I could not remember which one I loved more, and I gave them both 5 out of 5 stars, so I can't remember which one I loved more. I was thinking about it for so long, just trying to think of which one I loved more. I couldn't find out which one I loved more, so I had to put both of them on this list because they definitely deserve to be on the list, so just deal with it. They're both here. Coming in at number 5 is P.S. I Still Love You by Jenny Han. This is the sequel to All the Boys I've Loved Before by Jenny Han, and it's the concluding book in the duology, and I really, really enjoyed it. It was such a satisfying conclusion to the duology, and I want more, but at the same time, I'm happy with the way that it ended. It was just so cute. It was so adorable. I loved the characters. I fell in love with Peter so much more than I already loved him in the first book because I just loved him all the way throughout this book. And throughout the first one, I was iffy about him for most of it until the end, and I was just so happy with Peter. I didn't really like John. I know more people prefer John to Peter, but personally, I just loved Peter so much more. I found his relationship with Origine just so much better. I don't know, I just found it so much cuter than with John, although I do still like John as a character. But I prefer him and Laura Jean as friends. I gave this one a 5 out of 5 stars. Coming in at number 4 is The Unbecoming of Mara Dyer by Michelle Hudkin. I gave this one a 5 out of 5 stars as well. I read the whole trilogy this year, and this one was my favorite. It was almost tied with the second book, The Evolution of Mara Dyer, but I had to go with the first one.
I loved it so much. It was so cute. And Noah is my bae. I love him so much. Noah. And that book, it was so creepy and it was beautifully written, and I loved every second of it, and I read it so quickly, and I'm just so good. Oh my god.
I highly recommend that book to you guys. Oh my god, so we're getting down to the top 3 books of the year. Technically top 4, but top 3. So coming in at number 3 is Clockwork Princess by Cassandra Clare. So I read almost all of Cassandra Clare's books this year. This one was my favorite. It was almost tied with City of Heavenly Fire, but in the end, this is just the one that has stuck with me more. It evoked more emotion in me, and I just loved it so much. And it was so good. I love these characters, and I love this world, and I love the time setting of the 1800s. It's just such a beautiful time, and I love it so much. I highly recommend you read this book and all of Cassie Clare's other books because they are fantastic. So coming in at number 2 is another tied one between 2 books for one author, and that is Throne of Glass and A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. I couldn't possibly pick between A Court of Thorns and Roses and Throne of Glass. I read almost all of Sarah J. Maas's books this year, and I could not pick. Throne of Glass is my favorite from these series. Throne of Glass is normally people's least favorite book in that series, just because they love Heir of Fire so much, but personally Heir of Fire has been my least favorite. I don't know why, it just is. And then I just loved this book so much, and I almost just went with this one, but then I was like, no, I can't just neglect Throne of Glass. So I had to dual them up, and I had to put them together as one. But yeah, I was like, look how much I tabbed this. Like, yes, I loved this book so much. But I gave them both 5 out of 5 stars, and they were so good. Okay guys, we finally reached the number 1 spot. Are you ready? I bet you already know what it is. If you've been watching my videos, I bet you already know what it is. So coming in at number 1 is Winter by Marissa obviously I loved this book so much. This was the last book that I finished as I'm filming this video.